Hello and welcome to this video about pedagogy for transformation and evolution. I'm Harriet Fagerholm from Helsinki, Finland. I work as a co-creative guide, healer, and my background is in vocational education as a professional teacher.
Hello, everyone. My name is Victoria Subirana. I'm from Spain, and I have been working for 30 years in the development, research, and practice of pedagogy named after Pedagogy for Transformation. And it's been successfully implemented. And I would like to share that with you and the success of Harriet also.
Mm-hmm. This video is about the tyranny of freedom of expression.
Yes. All these years, when I was working in the schools, I understood that the children are neglected from a very important part of their intellectual management, which is the freedom of expression. And sometimes we are confused by tyranny of expression or freedom of expression. Because of that, I decided to create a material to use when there is a verbal expression concern. Let's think that you have a very important message to deliver. You have a conversation with someone and it's a difficult subject. It's something that you have to think over and over, something that you are not feeling comfortable with, something that you know you are having trouble to say, that you are not willing to say, but you must. Very often we are not given the keys to solve the problems of our outer expression, especially when it comes to verbal expressions. And I came across a very beautiful text from which I decided to turn it into a material named after the three keys. That text has different claims. Socrates claimed to be the author, but also some Buddhist teachings also use them. I am sure in Christian religions and other religions they have been talking about the same topics. So I thought that it could be a good way of dealing with it. Then what I did was to construct three rooms which are connected to one another. The first room is the room of truth. So the children, when they had to deliver a message or they had to work with some issues related to expression, they were supposed, or they are supposed, or they have to write the message in a piece of paper, or write the essay, or write whatsoever they want to communicate, and then see whether the way they have written and address the issue will allow them to enter the three different rooms. Then the teacher has two keys. One key is the right one, the other one is the wrong. And the child will come with whatsoever expression. Then the first question, the teacher will say, "What are you trying to say? Is it truth?" Then the child will say, Why are you asking? I don't know, maybe the truth have to be proven. You should bring evidence to talk about what you are supposed to stand for. If you cannot stand with a proof, then better you don't come with any message or you don't say anything, because if there is no truth, you are attempting one of the fundamental principles and moral values that are really destroying humanity when you are coming up with false statements, false testimonials that are not truth and are very harmful for the person or the peoples receiving that attack. Very often we don't pay the attention, the necessary attention to the fact that, you know, when we have been molested by some words that were not certain, you feel an immense pain in your heart, and many times you don't have the opportunity to repair that anymore, because it might be even in the news, it might be even in the television, it might be mouth to mouth, the talk of town. So the first thing the children should understand, that speaking truth, it's the first key to unhappiness and justice and the happiness of others. Then let's think that the child went back to rectify the content of his, claim and of his essay or sentence, whatever. Then the teacher will say, okay, now look, and try to open with this key. So he's inside of the room, where the room of the truth. So he feels, happy, in a happy environment, because all the messages which stands for truth are there on the walls and paintings and other expressions, so they can feel what is truth. Then at the door of the room, there is a dustbin where the wrong message have to be placed there. So the children can also go and see what is truth and what is not truth in comparison, with a comparative study. Then the second, the teacher will ask, so what are you trying to say? Is it a good thing? Is it good? Or are you telling this with a good intention? With the good intention for the person or peoples who are receiving that? Then the child goes, oh, sometimes we have to say things that are not good. We have to say things that are difficult, and we have to stand for them. But the attitude, the intention, when you are saying them, when you are writing them, should prevail, on top of everything. Because even if someone has committed a mistake, or you are reporting something very negative, if you are reporting that with the bad intention of harming others, with revenge, then you are equally responsible, and you become the guilty one. You are equally a failure than the one who has done something wrong. So what's your intention when you speak? What's your intention? I know this is a difficult thing to tell you. I know I would have loved 20 times not to be here at this moment telling you about this negative thing that I have seen. I saw something negative. I saw something that was an injustice, but I have to stand for it, and I have to tell that watch your words and analyze what is the intention you are putting into that, so you don't create more harm to others with your words. Then if that intention is not there when the children are writing or speaking, then they have to go back and do the amendments, write the same paragraph with another heart intention, the intention of the goodness of the heart, turning the words into something that is justice. It's justice, but it's also good for the person who is receiving it. It's not an insult, it's not damaging the self-confidence, it's not, a poison, feel. If the words are poison, then don't write them, don't tell them. Finally, when the boy comes with the nice written piece, that is truth, but plus it's also told with a good intention. The teacher will give the room, he will enter there, and he will find all the other outcomes out of good intentions there at the wall of that room. So he feels that not only him, but there are many others, reaching to the same ideal objective of speaking with a good intention. And finally, the teacher will ask, but then that was truth, and that was with a good intention, or it was a good thing to be said. But now, how about the utility? What are you trying to say? Is it going to be useful? Is it going to create some good outcome, good utility? How that applies to the direct application or practice of what you are trying to say. If the practice is not good, if it's a bad practice, if it has no use, if what you are going to say is of no use and do not create any positive impact in the outer of you, then it's better not to say anything, because our words matter. And here I have to say that definitely links with all the religions, Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, and so forth, because all the religions have given much importance to the words in that extension that the words are converted into prayers. And we pray. Why we pray? We pray because the energy of the words, the outer, the voice, it's the alienation, aligned. You get aligned with the supreme energy that materializes whatever you are saying. Words plus thoughts, the combination of this creates embodiment. So when you are aligned with the words and thoughts and intention, then you create embodiment. It comes true. And in all the religions, we have been taught how important the power of praying, the power of saying good things. And even if you see, when someone has a very special voice, the vibrations of that voice can even move, the glasses of the windows. So that important is what we say, that even if we don't know, those vibrations are in the air, affect us. It's affecting our well-being. It's affecting our surroundings. So be careful, because sometimes on the name of freedom of expression, we are exercising a great deal of tyranny amongst others by telling things that are nonsense, that are not of any good use. And that is another of the cause of quarreling. The medias of nowadays have been really the poisoning of fake news, that they are spread all over, causing a lot of, difficulties amongst those who cannot stand for any other equal possibility of, defending themselves. And I think Harriet has a large experience in expressing the negative and positive feelings, of her clients, with the outer resolution of those unsolved emotions, and especially when it comes to verbal expressions. And I would like her to relate her experience to this topic, please.
Thank you, Victoria. Yes, there is a different quality and energy in our talk when we are in contact with our real emotions. And I have a practice, and I have been trained as a facilitator of emotional talk, so that we are not discussing concepts and ideas on an intellectual level, but we are talking from I, sharing my emotions and allowing to express our truth with the emotions, involved. Saying, for example, I feel such an anger because of this and this, because he treated me like that and he did not listen to me, or he or she was talking about giving the false impression of what I'm doing, and she was not really interested in what I had to say. And in the expression, I think it's also very much about the listening. Are we received? And do we have the spaces where we can practice this emotional talk so that the others are really listening to us? And then they can relate to their emotions, because when somebody is talking with their emotions, from their own truth, they are not pointing at anybody. They are talking about what they are feeling and why they are feeling like that. It invites the other to share from another perspective with the same feeling. So how to deal with anger, and how can I transform the situation so that when I speak to my friend or the person with whom I have a challenge going on, that I know my good intention, that I want to repair the relationship. I have also seen many people, when they get into this tricky situations where they where they're not having contact with the real feelings. They are losing the compass, and then they withdraw, and they think the problem is about the other person. But that's not where the problem is. It's about something in you, and there is a lesson for you to be learned. And but to have groups where you can practice this expression, where it is safe for you to express your feelings, and then you get the insights. It's related to this topic. So, and maybe you also need to look at your intentions as an adult as well. Do I really have good intentions for everyone involved? How do I relate to the situation where you feel the injustice, for example, when you feel disappointment? Let's say you expected something from another person, and suddenly you see that although that person were, expressing these things, the reality was not, aligned. We talked about the alignment before, that the actions are aligned also. And actually, when it comes to conscious creation, because now we're talking about conscious creation, like Victoria expressed, the power of our words. We are creating with our words. So that's where we need to be aware of, what am I creating? And do I have love for that, what I'm creating? So I have a measurement for myself that if there is not love in what I'm doing, then I'd rather not do. Or if there is not love and compassion with when I'm sharing my truth, then I'm quiet. And I can work in my own heart on the forgiveness, choosing again the forgiveness. So I can really choose how I use the power of my words, and I should choose. And you refer to media. I mean, we have now examples of how the tyranny of expression, of really like hunting some even young celebrities. We have had many celebrities, artists, who have committed suicide because of the haunting of their, personality is going after them as a person. That is brutal violence.
Yeah.
Because there is always a reason why people behave like they behave. And if there are these hurt inner children in so many of us, they are behaving out of that ignorance we talked about earlier. And they are expressing also from that point of hurt.
Yes.
and feeling of injustice. So to be able to have compassion with them, that is the teaching of Jesus Christ, for example. Forgive them because they don't know what they're doing. That is one big teaching I'm trying to really apply in my daily practice and life, in my work as well. Knowing that not everyone understands the power of the words. So choosing our words properly, and also the energy behind the words, because that is where the real power is. When the energy and the words are combined, then we can really create much of a positive outcome as well. When we create from the place of happiness and joy, all those positive feelings. So try to cultivate those feelings in you and express that joy. And joy is also a choice. So by, talking out joyful things, putting your focus on seeing the good things and showing appreciation and saying appreciation to others, give them the appreciation. And it has been wonderful to be with Victoria now and see how she is practicing this with all the people she meets. She's just wonderful in how she shows the appreciation to other people. But this has come, I know, from years of practice, and you've been teaching it to children also. Wow, what a valuable teaching our children and youth would have. And we believe that by applying these practices, we can really change the world, all of us, when we come together. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you.